I want to go to you, Kethevane, in the United States. Tell us what we can expect in the coming hours.
Well, Donald Trump is expected to arrive at the D.C. courthouse this afternoon, somewhere between 3 and 4 p.m. local time. And the location of that courtroom is going to be interesting, too, because it is not too far from the United States Capitol, where all those events of January 6 actually unfolded. Once he arrives there, we don't know if we'll be seeing him or if he'll be arriving by a side door and not in the line of sight of cameras. But once he arrives there, it's going to be pretty standard, pretty similar to what we saw in Miami. He's going to be arraigned, meaning he's going to be processed. His fingerprints will be taken, and then we are expecting him to enter his plea, which will very likely be a plea of not guilty. And then, probably similarly to what happened in Miami, the prosecution did not ask for any bail, did not ask for any travel restrictions, given the status of Donald Trump as a 2024 candidate. So he is expected to walk out of that courthouse a free man and return possibly to his property in New Jersey. And so that will be the end of it for what comes in Washington for this arraignment. And then we'll be waiting for the actual date of the trial, which is possibly going to be soon if we listen to what the prosecution wants to do. But it's going to be very key to look at what happens here at the courthouse, because already big security building up around the courthouse, because authorities are worried that there are going to be some pro-Trump protesters, and they want to see everything unfolding very peacefully, the way it happened in Miami for that previous indictment.
Kethevane, can you just really spell out to us the significance of these charges? They are unprecedented. What we're seeing now is historic.
Absolutely. And one of the first reasons that these charges and this indictment particularly is historic is because even though it is the third indictment for Donald Trump, this is the first indictment that has to do with alleged crimes that he would have committed while he was in office, while he was still the president of the United States. If you think back at the indictment in the New York hush money payments case, that happened before he became a president. And even the Miami indictment in the classified documents case, that was something that had to do with things he did once he was out of office. So this makes it a significance in itself. But also the charges, those conspiracy charges, conspiracy to defraud the United States, all of this has to do with his alleged attempt to overturn the 2020 election results. So this has to do with him really trying to interfere in one of the foundations of the U.S. democracy, the electoral process and the peaceful transition of power.
Thanks to you so much, Kethevane, there in Washington, for that latest update.